Just in case some people didn't see that, let's go back.
Good evening, Peace Walkers. Congratulations on completing the walk. Really sorry I wasn't able to be there with you. The Peace Walk this year fell directly during my finals, and so there was just no way for me to make it out there physically, but I've been with you all in spirit. You've survived the winds, you've walked, you've prayed, you stood for peace, you've walked for peace, you've walked for social justice. Y'all are just amazing activists, and it really is an honor to be invited to talk to you guys tonight on the last night of the Sacred Peace Walk, outside of the gates of Mercury. It's always been a special place for me at the Nevada test site, and the Goddess Temple and the Sacred Peace Walk. I'm really thankful that y'all were able to do that, and representing the way you guys did. Keep walking for peace, keep working for peace. Love you guys. I'll see you next year on the walk.
Fire in our hearts, fire in our minds, fire's growing at the core, keep us on our way.
So welcome to the final night of the hybrid Sacred Peace Walk, the virtual campfire. And tonight we have Pat Hornack with us, Brian, and looks like a couple others at the Goddess Temple's, what is that place called? The Pavilion. Looks like Laura Marie River Victor Peace Nopales and Ming are there, and Vera may be there too. Oh, and there's a baby Lyra over in the corner. So Brian, I know you were there today at the actual gates of the Mercury entrance to the nuclear test site. We just showed some pictures from earlier this morning, I guess before people actually were at the gates of the Nevada National Security Site, formerly known as the test site, the nuclear test site, the proving ground. Can you tell us, or it looks like Shirley's there too, and Richard, and Vera's there too. Hello, Vera's live at another event, I think. You're multitasking for sure. Someone that was there yes. At the test site today, could you please tell us what kind of ritual was? Because I didn't see any photographs yet, and feel free to share your screen if you have that, if you have any of those images, but at least we can hear verbally if you could speak about that.
Okay, well, we had, it ended up being about 15 people there. And yeah, we gathered at the parking lot of Peace Camp, and we began reading the original Child Bomb, which is Thomas Merton's anti-poem from 1961, describing the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the things that led up to it and the questions that came afterwards. He called it an anti-poem and lines to be scratched on the walls of a cave. And we read it, kind of meditatively and sang.
Going through the tunnels.
Going through the tunnels. And when we got to the close to the road, Johnny Bob took over, and we had the Shoshone rituals there, and then went to the gates, and Johnny Bob spoke to the police officers and the National Nuclear Security Administration's police who were there, and finally Ray Cage and Catherine Howard Howard crossed the line, and were detained briefly. And I should tell you this is we still have the box here. Lieutenant Jordan of the Nye County Police came to Peace Camp this morning with donuts, reinforcing a stereotype. And he was very nice, and he explained what the new situation is, the new protocols that the county and the NNSA have for people getting arrested, and people with ID are going to be released with a warning if they haven't been arrested there since 2018, and a citation with a court date if they have. And they gave Catherine a court date, a citation without a court date, but then they called and said that was a mistake. They shouldn't have given her that. So these two friends were apprehended and released. And it was very, even though we agreed that we were in the beginning that we weren't going to do that, but that was partly because we didn't know if anybody would end up in jail, and we didn't have the support, jail support in line. So it was good that two people made a quick decision, and representing us violated the illegal occupation of the National Security Administration land that actually belongs to the Western Shoshone. And we were the ones who had permission to be there and not them. And I'm glad that that was reinforced one more time.
It was nice because Johnny Bob spoke, and then after Johnny Bob spoke, it was Mary Lou who spoke, and after Mary Lou spoke, then it was John Amadon who spoke, and it was very effective because each one was very powerful in the way they spoke, and I think it might have affected some of the younger guys that were on the sideline. They were very courteous to us because when the cars came, they would block it, so make sure that we weren't injured, and we knew how to move and how to get back to be a complete line of opposition, which was really gorgeous, I thought. You have anything to say, Rich?
Yeah, I think just the appeal, everything that Johnny said was just so obvious. And I don't know, just hearing him speak over and over again about the different reasons why they have to shut it down. And the fact that it's native land, So for them to hear it, and also John following up about the climate, I think there's a new appeal, not just the weapons, but climate is so important that they have to really start thinking about changes because of the climate change. So, and he had a Frankenstein poster in climate about militarism causes climate crisis. I can't
You're
remember.
speaking of John Amadon.
It's a great poster.
I think you said that was John Amadon's graphic. Does anybody have a picture of that? You're welcome to screen here.
Poster. Yeah, we got a picture of it, so Wendy or Vera, somebody will have it.
Great.
So we can make sure that you get it.
Thanks. If you're just joining us, this is the final night of the Sacred Peace Walk virtual campfire, where we're just chatting about what happened. Thank you for the report from the pavilion at the Goddess Temple. Let's do a go around, please, people, if you want to unmute yourself when you're ready to speak. Maybe we could start with Pat Hornak and just give everybody a chance to say hello and goodbye, because this is the end of our Peace Walk, and then we can go back to the pavilion if there's more of a final wrap up. But let's go ahead and start with Pat. If you can unmute. Yeah, you're unmuted. Go ahead, Pat.
It's just wonderful to see you all, and I wish I were there, and I've been hiking with you in spirit and singing with you, and love you all. I don't have anything more to say right now. Maybe later. One other thing, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. If it's appropriate, I have another song, a better song from Reverend Billy Group, if it's appropriate at some point.
Yeah, let's finish the go around first and we'll end up with you again, Pat. I think we can go on to Karen and Kai and Vera. Vera's multitasking, but let's take Karen and Kai and the Francis and Claire compound with Ming and Laura Marie. Karen?
Hi, here we are. I'm sorry I missed some of what you guys were saying because I was finding our table because we're setting up a table. See our table? And then we've got, there's Kylene right there. Oh, it's too sunny. Oh, there she is. And Alec and my son Duncan is with us too. And we had a wonderful time at the Peace Walk and at the line crossing. I did. Space. Oh, it's so busy. Ah, turn around. Turn. Oh, there it is. It was so beautiful. Everything was great. Just feel great, and I'm very grateful for everyone that came together. So that's all I have to say. I think.
Thanks again. If you're just joining us, this is the final night of the 2022 Sacred Peace Walk. We're doing our virtual campfire, which means that people are in multiple places. Mostly, it seems like the Western states, as far as I can tell. Maybe Pat is on the East Coast. Anybody from the Francis and Claire compound? That might be Ming and Laura Marie. Would you like to check in and say hello and give us a blessing for till next year? Anybody there?
So much love to the Desert Walkers. Thank you for doing that beautiful work. I hope that the interaction with Lieutenant Jordan was okay. And thinking about you and keeping you in our prayers as we do our Seder tomorrow night, and for all of your health and gratefulness to all of you. We love you so much.
I wanted to tell you that Lieutenant Jordan brought us donuts. He's never done that before, right? But he was extra kind to us, explained. He stayed too. He said he was going to stay for breakfast, but I didn't see him eat. He was talking with people. And he talked to us extra. He stayed and he was like in our circle a little bit. And we asked him several times. He explained several times what would happen. So I guess he got a little confused because Catherine got a surprise because they told her if she hadn't had any warnings or citations since 2018, she would be okay. But it actually was 2014. So she had, and she's fine though. She wanted to do it anyway. But yeah, so there was a little confusion. But I'm pretty sure Lieutenant Jordan did his best, and he brought us donuts, and that was a very surprise. And
let's thank you for throwing that in. Two things that just were spoken about the donuts, and then what Laura Marie said before that. I just want to give a little historical note on the donuts, and then so first the donuts. In the first year of Nevada Desert Experience in 1982, when people were vigiling every day throughout Lent, that's 40 days. Sometimes there was more dialogue with some of the employees of the test site, and they felt pity on these people out in the cold vigiling in the morning as they went in. So they started bringing donuts and coffee out to the vigilers back in 1982. So there's a tradition of that. And one year, Reverend Chelsea and I tried to offer donuts and free massage in order to get the test site employees not to go to work that day. That was about 2008, I think. Nobody took us up on that. So it was just peace activists that got free massage that day. Now, Laura Marie mentioned Passover tomorrow night, I think, or this week. And so there's a Seder happening. And it just, if you hadn't heard, this week is one of those special weeks. This month is very special. That since 1991, it's been a long time since Ramadan and Passover and Holy Week and Ridvan, the Hindu springtime festival, and Vaisakhi for 6. That's all happening this month, and some of those all this week. So it's very special. We also talked about the confluence of or conjunction of those planets. So this has been a really a special time in history. And we still want to hear in the go round before we go back to Pat singing a song. There's I think Baby Lyra already gives some shout outs, but there's Kai perhaps. And Vera, whenever, I know Vera's multitasking out there with Karen. It looks like you're at the same event, possibly. But go ahead, Kai.
Hey. Yeah, I'm actually here with them too, but we're all jumping on to make sure we say hi. Yeah, hi everybody. Today was super fun and just beautiful. I think for me, it's always like a little bit emotional coming to the cultivation and actually being in front of the testing spot and seeing, why we're here. And of course, there's some sadness to what's happening, but also all I can think about is how we transmute the suffering into connection and into peace and into love and joy by being here for each other and manifesting that out. And so, I come back to the beautiful time that I've had with everybody and know that as we move forward, we're going to make a difference. And so today was just wonderful, the whole day, the whole week. And I'm super grateful. So yeah, it's been awesome.
Terrific. And Vera, are you still there, Vera? Vera, are you there?
Yes. Hello. Thanks for holding this virtual space. Happy I got to participate in the Peace Walk this year. And this morning there was a lot of love and prayers sent out. So it felt like really powerful, just like my first year back in 2014. And it seems like this work is so important for us as a human race, like taking care of humanity. And it's so important that we show up. The procession was really really heavy to look at that truth, to look at the truth of what nuclear weapons can do and have done. And I think it's so important to remember where we've been, to work towards making sure that never happens again. Yeah.
Amen. May it be so. Thank you for saying that.
Nice picture.
And before Pat sings a song, does anybody else need to jump in with anything?
Yeah, I would like to give an update on what Karen said about Catherine's situation.
Thank you.
I got a phone call this afternoon from Lieutenant Jordan, and he told me he wanted Catherine's phone number and he had made a mistake. And Catherine is not cited. He said that they looked back at their records and that the kind of the fake citations, the take this piece of paper and go away citations that they gave up to 2018, that they were not official warnings. And so she had not gotten a warning and she is not cited. And he felt very bad for the misunderstanding and hoped that Catherine wasn't upset and was going to get in touch with her. But anyway, the citation that she got said she had to show up in court, but didn't say where or when. So it really was kind of questionable whether they were, whether there actually would have been a prosecution on that misdemeanor trespass. But anyway, it didn't happen, and Lieutenant Jordan felt bad about the misunderstanding.
Sounds like a clerical error. I know that for years, as Brian mentioned, those sort of fake pieces of paper. One year that the police said that they just put them in a shoebox, but they were allegedly weren't tracking it, but I guess they were tracking it. And of course, it was 2018 when they said they're going to start having actual regular penalties and treat them like a real thing. So they must have kept them in the NCIS or NCIC, whatever it is. Anyway, so that was interesting in terms of this clerical error. Shirley, Richard wants to say something, and then I want to hear something from Shirley about what's going on in Arizona. Go ahead, Richard.
Quick. Karen also inspired us to paint rocks that we left in the tunnel, the underpass, to go along with the other artwork, and it was great. Another thing that we did.
I think it's probably off now.
Thanks for
I
making.
just want to say to everyone that it was just a wonderful. It was a wonderful thing to have police protection the whole 60 miles. And at the very end, the lady who began on the other side came up to us and said, "Oh, I'm so glad you made it."
Mhm.
So besides having the lieutenant come up.
Shirley, I know you spend a lot of time in Arizona. I believe you live there. Can you tell us what's going on with some of the social justice work that you've been doing out there with the border and such?
I think the focus has been too much on immigration and the border, that we haven't had time to think about nuclear weapon and nuclear. We tried to bring people's attention to that, but it's not a big, of not really interest.
I don't know if I'm frozen or if Goddess Temple.
For most people. So.
Well, I want to
What
thank
did
you
say
for
about the Goddess Temple.
No, I just wanted to thank you for the work that you do for justice, because obviously the ability to cross borders is a right, and people, especially when people are refugees, it's just so important for human dignity and for justice. So thanks for doing that work on the front lines, the literal lines in the sand. Anyway, so I think we needed to hear from Pat before we close up in a few minutes here. Pat's got a song, and the kinds of work that Shirley does reminds me of one of the songs we sang earlier this week. So I think we have time for 2 songs. Let's go to Pat first, because Pat's been waiting in the wings. Go ahead, Pat.
Okay. Again, I'm kind of embarrassed because I'm not a solo singer, but I'm with the Reverend Billy, and we are a crazy mob, but we do good work. And we protest against Monsanto, if anyone knows about Monsanto. And we sing, "Monsanto is the devil, pretends he's a scientist, the pest we need for this predator, evolution with a kiss. That's where you and I come in, the human superbug, with Mother Earth's instructions, save your seeds with love. Devil Monsanto, listen up, a seed, she's not a logo, can't kill her with your name. Oh, she's got the power of love." And that's a tease of the song Monsanto is the Devil.
Yes, very true. Amen to that. So people asked me they wanted to hear the song that I sang earlier this week, which ties in with some of these things. That was a great song. Thanks, Pat. And that is, what a waste of money, the Border Patrol, militarized border, hurts my soul, don't draw lines in the ground, we're gonna tear this border down. Smash, smash, smash all the nations, we are the anarchist generation, we blockade military bases, we destroy fascist nations, bolt cutters and evolution, we're gonna make a revolution. Smash, smash, smash all the nations, smash, smash, smash all the nations. This verse goes with what Richard was saying. We know that climate catastrophes hurt the people of the 21st century, courtesy of all the military. They're all Earth's #1 enemy, along with the greedy corporations. That's why people everywhere rise up in defiance of the foolish nations. We unite with our best direct actions. So thank you guys for doing your direct action today at the NNSS.
Yay.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's it. Peace to you all.
You too. And Vera, do you have a final statement? Are you busy, Vera? I know you're multitasking out there, but